It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for. Well, for classic Doctor Who at least, of course, this song is ending, but the story never ends. As we take a look at the final classic Doctor Who adventure, Survival. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Nick here. This is not going to be a very happy... Well, it is going to be a happy review, but the outcome won't be happy. Because we are today looking at Doctor Who Season 26, Story 4, Survival, the final classic Doctor Who adventure, as you can see on the sticker. Of course, this DVD came out after the new series came about, so it said the final classic adventure itself, the final adventure. And also mentions Rose Tyler in the booklet because of this story kind of sets up the new series in terms of style. Well, style, I mean, with a feisty young girl from a roughed up part of London going on travels in time and space and more Earth-based stories. In fact, Season 26, I think I've already mentioned this in a previous review, possibly Battlefield. All of the stories in this season are completely set on Earth, apart from when they go to the Cheetah Planet in this story, which is the entirety of Part 2 and parts of Parts 1 and 3. But apart from that, it's mostly an Earth-based story. It's mostly Earth-based this season. Thankfully, not all in the present day, because they've also got 2 time travel stories. Okay, so Survival. The plot of this story is Ace is wondering what her old gang's up to. So the Doctor takes her home for a visit at Perivale. And most of the story is actually filmed in Perivale. I think only the Cheetah Planet scenes are probably filmed elsewhere. The rest of the story is either filmed in Perivale or nearby other places in West London. And I like that. I like how it's mostly set in Perivale when it's not on the Cheetah Planet. I like how it's probably mostly filmed there. I don't know if there's any studio set. Well, maybe the Master's tent scenes where we got the close-up scenes. And yeah, it's not a surprise that the Master's in this story, because once you first see him, you know the Master's in this story. You'll be like, it's the Master! Again! Ow. Anyway, so the Doctor and Ace return to Perivale. However, things aren't, well, usually Perivale's just a bit of a dump, apparently, according to Ace. However, at the moment, things are being even worse, as people seem to be disappearing left, right, and centre. Ace's old friends have disappeared, apart from one girl who's collecting money, and other young people seem to be disappearing for some reason, and there's lots of stray cats. So yeah, there's quite a bit of a mystery throughout Part 1, and then you soon find out that the Master has been sending these cats, or later as they're revealed, Kitlings, cat vultures, to seek out victims for the people of the Cheetah people to capture and take to their world, and then hunt for food or for sport or both. Ace does get captured by one of these Cheetah people, one called Kara, I believe. Or at least that's one that she attacks later on and gets to know a bit more personally later. Eventually, the Doctor and this sergeant follow Ace back in time, back to the Cheetah People's planet, where they discover that the Master is behind all of it. And he's trapped on this planet. He's now gotten these powers, and he can control the Cheetah People. The Doctor and the sergeant, this is a army sergeant, because he's teaching self-defense, this guy, and it's becoming an army sergeant. It was originally a policeman, but the Metropolitan Police after Terror of the Autons, did not want police shown in bad light, unless, like in Rosa, it's a historical context. Where were they when Resurrection of the Daleks was showing fake policemen mowing down innocent people in the streets? I don't know. So they have a problem with a former police officer teaching teenagers self-defense, but they're okay with fake policemen wearing Metropolitan Police outfits mowing down people in the streets. Metropolitan Police, you need to get your priorities right. And like I said, with the Resurrection of the Dalek one, it would be a good angle to take the story to show that sometimes the police aren't always the nice guys, but those ones were fake. So be careful. As for Rosa, it's a historical context and an American, so the Metropolitan Police probably don't have a problem. But yeah, so they have a problem with a old police officer teaching self-defense to teenagers. But anyway, because of that, it became a soldier. To be honest, it does sort of work better being a soldier, but the reasons why it had to be a soldier is still stupid. Like I said, Metropolitan Police, get your priorities. Like I said, Metropolitan Police, get your priorities right. Okay, so the Doctor and the Sergeant, a army sergeant, as I must remind you, eventually find Ace and a group of friends that she's found, including a new guy, two friends and a new guy, and together they have to try and escape the Cheetah people. However, another guy gets brought to the world, and it causes commotion. He gets killed off, obviously. Midge, one of Ace's friends, kills one of the Cheetah people and starts getting possessed by the powers himself. And Ace helps a cheetah that she attacked get better, and also the power starts affecting her. Also, the cheetah person that Ace helps, named Kara, is played by Lisa Bowerman, who would, of course, go on to play Bernie Summerfield in the Big Finish audios 9 years later. Starting 9 years later, I should say. She's still doing it. Excellent, and she's directed quite a few Big Finish stories, namely many of the Companion Chronicles, and all but one Jago and Lightfoot. Jago and Lightfoot, of course, being the characters from Talons of Weng-Chiang. So excellent, and also she's in most of those, I think, if not all of them, as Ellie, who's this. I suppose the barmaid of a pub. Anyway, so Kara and Ace kind of get sort of a relationship on at this point, I suppose. Hence the bisexualness I said in Curse of Fenric. I thought it would be bisexualness because this story is supposed to have lesbian undertones, and Rona Munro actually physically states that. But in previous story, in Curse of Fenric and Remembrance of the Daleks, Ace has been attracted to men. She might have been slightly attracted to Sean Lin in Battlefield, so I suppose we could say Ace is bisexual. Because she's attracted to men and women, or he's got these sort of lesbian undertones with female characters, but still kind of like some guys, sort of romantically. So bisexual, perhaps. So yeah, I do like these undertones. They do help develop the character a lot. Eventually, both Midge and Ace get possessed by the Cheetah Planet, as I've already mentioned, with Midge kind of becoming full heavily induced by it, and the Master uses him to escape. Whilst Ace, after a bit more time with Kara, the Doctor then gets her to take them home, and Ace uses her new powers to kind of help find Midge and the Master, who have not gotten rid of their kind of cheetah infected powers. By the way, I think Sylvester McCoy's face here on the picture, he's got the eyes, the cheetah people's eyes, but I don't think he ever got possessed in the story, unless maybe in that bit where he's got the skull thing near the end of part 3. Maybe he did there, but I don't think so. I'm not sure. Anyway, back on Earth in part 3, Sergeant goes back to his self-defense class. However, Mitch is there. He's taken over, and he gets the sergeant killed, I presume. And he's now wearing, well, presumably what the Master in the TV movie will be wearing. He's wearing shades, and he's wearing a leather jacket. He's got a suit, though. Well, no, not leather jacket. He's wearing a suit, so he's trying, I guess he's practicing the Master's next incarnation's look. Or, well, one of the future Master's incarnations look, depending on the timeline. So yeah, he's kind of practicing it out, but he's trying to be this cool, rebellious team. Um, and he challenges the Doctor to a motorcycle ride, which the Doctor does. And Mitchell, of course, dies just because, I guess. And Kara comes to Ace's rescue, but is killed by the Master. And then the Doctor and the Master have one final fight back on the Cheetah Planet before the Master, some reason, lets the Doctor go. I guess he escapes as well because he's back in the TV movie. Then again, Skaru is as well, so I guess the Daleks would have to resurrect that. In the Big Finish timeline, I think this Master, after escaping the Cheetah Planet, he starts becoming the Geoffrey Beevers Master again. He starts turning back into a starting to decay again. He decays a bit more until he gets back to Geoffrey Beevers standard, and then he regenerates into a incarnation in the comics, and then into the incarnation played by Gordon Fripple, and then he takes the body of a paramedic from San Francisco, 1999, and becomes Eric Roberts. CTV movie. So the Master will return, of course. But at the time of the end of the classic series, you could presume this is the end for him, just as like the Daleks and the Cybermen have met their end. Whilst with the Rani, it was a bit more open-ended. And then the Doctor and Ace, they meet up again, and they head back to the TARDIS. And we get the famous final speech at the end of the story, spoken by the Seventh Doctor, and it's a beautiful speech. So, Survival. Wow, this is a fantastic story. This story is great. The survival of the fittest angle is really good, and actually it's quite funny that we got this following the evolution story ideas coming from Ghostlight, and if Curse of Fenric hadn't been moved to third spot, Ghostlight would have been the one before this one. So, yeah, that's interesting. How you got Ghostlight being all about evolution. Well, not all about it, but partly about evolution and evolution, and now you've got the fittest, and now you've got survival of the fittest, which kind of ties in with evolution. So it works really well with these themes. It works really well, and this character development of Ace, although her story sort of came full circle with Curse of Fenric, but I think Survival does a brilliant job of developing the character even further. And with her bisexual undertones with Kara, and with her friendship and home life in Perivale, as well as survival skills, and also being helpful to getting everybody home. With the cheetah powers, of course, she loses those at the end when the planet's destroyed. Presumably the Master escaped before that. Because he comes back, of course. And I think Sophie Aldred, again, does a fantastic job as Ace. I still think her best performance is Curse of Fenric, and the same for McCoy, at least on screen. But I still think Survival is another brilliant story. And McCoy is once again amazing. He's not as dark in this story as he was in the last 2 or 3. But he's still really great, and still really fun to watch, and still a great Doctor. And how he's going around Perivale trying to find out about this mystery. It's really great, and it's so doctory. It could work with any Doctor. McCoy manages to select other characters. Mitch is actually quite good supporting main villain, although sometimes he just attacks the other guy, just Frank, I believe his name is. I might be wrong, just because. I think it's Sheila. I don't know if this is the one Ace mentioned in Ghostlight, being the one that had her flat attacked by white kids, racist white kids, to be honest. But certainly I think she might be. And certainly she's a good character, as is Derek, the other guy. Oh, not Frank, Derek. The Sergeant's alright. He's a bit of a prick, but he's not as prickish as some characters from other stories. And he's alright in some scenes. I like the guy they got in from. His Scottish accent gives him a bit more of an authority. I'm not sure how, it just does, I guess. There's also a bit more of a stubborn streak to him as well. And the Master, Anthony Amy gives his final television appearance as the Master. He is fantastic. As always, he will play the Master one last time in cutscenes in the game Doctor Who Destiny of the Doctors, which you can find on this DVD as an extra, and I will be checking those out and doing a bonus review after the TV movie. I'm doing a bonus review of that, just like Whatever Happened to Susan, A Fix It Was on Torrent, and future new series minisodes, because it's not really part of the main Wilderness Years stuff, because it's not a visual. It's not a visual story like the TV movie Dimensions in Time or even the webcasts, but it does deserve to have a review. So I'll be giving it a bonus review, but it won't be counted as a Wilderness Years story. It might get an honourable mention in the ranking though, like Fix Was on Torrent did. But yeah, Amy, fantastic final performance, and I think just masterfully done. I think we could have had a bit more red tint to show off the cheetah planet, but you know, never say never. But you know, no worries. Although Rona Munro didn't really like the designs of the cheetah people, I think they actually did a really good job for cheetah people. I think they did a good job for that. Speaking of cheetah people, Lisa Bowerman does a great job as a supporting character, Kara, the cheetah person, and you actually see Kara as a human at the very end as well. And wow, Lisa Bowerman, she's really great. Of course, Lisa Bowerman is already an extraordinary actress playing Bernice Summerfield, but here she's already proven herself to be a brilliant actress. Something she'll develop over the next couple of decades as Benny. And then you've got some other supporting casts who do some good job in the role. Apparently, there's an actress who at the time was 8 years old, and she plays the sister of Midge. I'm not sure. I can't remember her name, but here she's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of her here, but apparently she goes on to be a big actress or something. I'm not sure. Never mind. She definitely does better here than Strella from Dragonfire. So okay, fair enough. Okay, on the whole, Survival is a fantastic story. Some fantastic. The camera work is also amazing. Like when we see the camera coming up. So when the cheetah person arrives, but you don't know it's a cheetah person on a horse just yet. The camera moves up to their point of view, and you could see the guy just surprised. As it's coming up and up, so it can get to the cheetah person's point of view level. Brilliant camera work, and it just works so well. And there's some great camera work here as well, and some really great editing, and it just looks so amazing. And the final, and the climaxes are brilliant. It's over a bit quickly. But it's still really fun and some really great stuff. And it's really enjoyable and really entertaining. So, Survival, I'm going to give this story a 10 out of 10. I mean, I wasn't so fond of it the first couple of times I saw it, but after rewatching, it became an instant classic. Even more than the first story, An Earthly Child, it's an instant classic. Ugh, she knows. So yeah, what a way to end classic Doctor Who with this masterpiece. I mean, it's not the best story of all time, but it's still one of the best, at least. I can probably count of about 26, 7, 28, 10 out of 10s of the classic era. Do a proper list at some point. But yeah, Survival. What a fantastic story. And out of a Survival of the Fittest competition of these stories of season 26, this one will come out on top. I just spoiled the ranking. Okay, so that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Next up will be the season 26 ranking. And then, well, season 27 didn't get made. The originally planned season 27, which would have seen Ace leave halfway through and the 7th Doctor regenerate at the end, with a new companion joining for the second half of that story season, and then probably continuing with the 8th Doctor. Not Paul McGann, but he could have been a later incarnation, but another 8th Doctor. So, yeah, but season 27 didn't happen. Well, not the one they planned anyway. And Doctor Who was taken off the air in 1990. Well, the last episode aired in 1989, but the show was officially cancelled in 1990. And apart from Dimensions in Time in 1993 for the 30th anniversary, no new episode was produced for 7 years until in 1996, Paul McGann starred as the 8th Doctor in Doctor Who, the movie, which also saw the 7th Doctor return to, Sylvester McCoy returns the 7th Doctor to reprise his role at the start before regenerating, so great. So yeah, this was the first piece of Doctor Who made since Survival, excluding Dimensions in Time. However, despite that series attempting to revive the show after its 7 years hiatus, it didn't go ahead due to low ratings in the United States. It got high ratings in the UK, but not in the US. So Doctor Who was, again, apart from some stuff with the Wilderness Years, was completely off the air until 2005, where the show was revived by Russell T Davies, who in 2003, for the 40th anniversary, was commissioned to make the show, revive the show. And throughout 2004, they made it so that on the 26th of March 2005, Doctor Who would return for its 27th season overall, and the first series of what would become a more than one series revival, because they thought they would only get the one series, but it turned out they'll get many more to come. And of course, that revival started with Doctor Who Series 1, starting with Episode 1, Rose. The character the title was named after, can be seen on the cover with the Doctor, and would star Christopher Eccleston as the 9th Doctor. Woo! So we got lots to look forward to. However, before we get to either the TV movie or Series 1, we still have quite a few Wilderness Years stuff to go through. First, got 3 things to do before the TV movie, and then a couple of things between the TV movie and Rose. So stay tuned next time after the Season 26 ranking for my review of the first of these Wilderness Years extra reviews, which will be Search Out Science's Doctor Who special, Search Out Space, which can also be found on this DVD, Survival DVD. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne Retro YouTube channel. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Stupid notification. You're like, it's the Master! Water! I don't have time to die. I want to finish this review. Also, fun fact, the cheetah she helps, Kara, is played by future Ben. Also, the actress playing Kara, the cheetah person Ace helps. Fuck my snorting! Also, the actress playing Kara, the cheetah person who helps Ace, Ace helps and then vice versa later on, is played by Lisa Fuck! Also, the cheetah person in this story, Also, the cheetah person Ace helps in this scene, is played by Lisa Bowerman. Fuck. Itchy nose. Itchy nose. And the 7th Doctor says the final speech that's well famous. I'm doing a bonus review because in the same veins as Victus on Torrens and future news. Of course, Lisa Bowerman will go to be extraordinary as Lisa Bowerman would of course go on to be the extraordinary. So for the 20, and of course they started and of course the revival started out with Doctor Who Series 1, starting with episode.